welcome out to our 6 o'clock live stream. We have a good show lined up tonight with two controversial topics that I'm sure are going to stir conversation in chat tonight. But that's the way we like it, man. If you start off the rip with a controversial subject, then
Unreal,
it keeps
dude.
keeps the chat lively.
Real.
I hope anybody that did Thanksgiving had a good, happy Thanksgiving, and no incidences to report. None on my end. What about you?
I had Chinese food,
Right on.
and
So,
we watched the Tomorrow War on Prime
Okay.
with Chris Pratt. Really decent,
Okay.
decent movie.
We did Thanksgiving at the house with my mom, and I sent her home with a giant care package of food to take home. So this way she doesn't have to cook this week or whatever. But we had a good Thanksgiving, man. It was a good couple days off, which sucks because I'm going into a really bad week at work, and then I only have to work a couple days the following week because then I head on out.
Do you know what was most fascinating? What I found most fascinating about Thanksgiving this year was all the TikToks where people made soup afterward, like where they boil the turkey and then they drain.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
I'm a big fan of the original Wawa gobbler. You know, the homemade version. The after,
yes,
you know what I
yes.
mean, with the little cranberry, a little stuffing. Sarah already firing off the $5 super chat. Thank
Sarah.
you so much, Sarah.
So here in Pennsylvania, we have a thing called the gobbler, which is basically all your Thanksgiving stuff, turkey
On a roll.
But what you don't know is that this year Wawa put it on a wrap.
Okay.
So imagine like a big burrito.
Stuffed with cranberry stuffing, turkey, gravy, mashed potatoes.
And what they found was they couldn't cut it in half the way they normally do.
Yeah.
Because they just would disintegrate. So they needed
Dude, right on.
man.
Sarah's out there busting out the emojis of me, Justin, the tattoo machine in the skull, because she's a channel member, which is going to be pretty important if you're into some different stuff later on. What?
Just the news thing.
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I worked out a deal with TAM magazine, since I am going to be I'm going to be a contributing member of the team, doing interviews for them. What I said that we made a gentleman handshake, that anything I do for them is going to be on our YouTube page, but behind the membership paywall, because it's supposed to be 100% exclusive to TAM magazine, but because I'm doing it out of the goodness of my heart at the beginning, I'm not really getting paid to do those. We made an agreement, so.
Do I have to pay?
Channel memberships, I think I might be able to give you one. I don't know. Honestly, I don't even know. I know that there's a way for members or for people that are in our chat to give out free memberships, but I don't even know how that works. So anyway, tonight we're going to talk about two topics that have been kicked around a few times here on our channel. Maybe not so much in the aspect that we're going to get into tonight, but it's been mentioned, I think, once or twice. The one has definitely been talked about, and it's reached a whole new levels of stupidity.
It's important to remember that prior to this particular live stream, Buck actually tranquilized me to keep me from just frothing at the mouth and flipping out.
All right. You know what? That made me just think of something. Somebody
Really?
actually threw a comment, and they were like, something about get to gatekeeping or something like that. Like, and I'm like, we don't talk about anything that would be, you know what I mean? Like, he was implying that we should be gatekeeping, and I'm like, we don't talk about anything that needs to be gatekept. Like, we don't talk about how to tattoo, processes of tattoos, any of that shit. Just kind of was weird.
So I was thinking, I'm selling different parts of my collection.
Mm-hmm.
And I do have about, 100 machines. And I thought, if I'm going to sell art and I'm going to sell flash, would I sell machines? And oddly enough, I won't. I won't sell tattoo machines.
Well,
I'll sell the art and the paintings that's associated with tattooing. But I still, the machines are
I just found it funny because I'm like, we don't even talk about anything that would be in that realm
Yeah.
on there. You know what I mean? It was just weird. Whatever. That's fine. I mean, everybody's allowed to have their opinion.
I want to stay. I want to stay out of that fight.
Yeah, I'm like, it's not none of my business. It's I just like I said. I mean, I'm only bringing it up because we don't even talk about anything that would be gatekeeping. So
Yeah.
whatever, man. Um,
Remember,
so
kids, when you use a 7 mag, you hang it out about that much, and you blast that motherfucker in at 14 volts. Trust me, it'll be fine.
uh, so the first topic that we're going to talk about tonight is something that I saw on
Oh my
Instagram,
God.
and I instantly sent it to Justin. And I have to be 100% transparent. I never heard of this ever. I think this is basically might be something new, but here we are. Let's get into it, man. The post was made by Dan Self-Made, and this is what it looked like. It said, "What on earth is going on?" So then it goes in, and if you look at some of these slides, they're basically talking about how they were told that they couldn't work at a tattoo shop, or they were getting kicked out of a tattoo shop, or were being bullied in a tattoo shop for using a coil machine. Yeah, that's a little odd. I've never heard of that before.
So the only example I've seen of this in real life is I was guest spotting at a shop in New Jersey, and the majority of the shop was using the pens, and me and another guy were using coil machines, and somebody asked us if we'd made our machines in prison, but not like as a joke, like this, younger lady, are those real tattoo machines? Did you make them at home? And I don't want to say, I don't want to. It would be mean spirited to classify it as ignorance because she didn't mean it as like an insult but she'd never seen coil machines before and didn't know what they were. And yeah, what do you say? How do you deal with that one?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, honestly, we're gonna read off some of these just to give it. I have it on my phone because I can't see it on the screen. It's too small.
So, like, just before we read these off, like, so I understand that with the advent of like computers, the compass and the old engineering
Yeah.
hand tools sort of became obsolete, right? I mean, you could still use them, but they didn't work anywhere near as efficiently as, say, a calculator
Right.
or as
Right.
as computer modeling. But the coil machines, they're not obsolete.
Yeah.
They work just as. I mean,
Oh.
I would argue they put lines in better.
Yeah, I mean, and I think it comes down to artist preference, and that this
Yeah.
isn't. This conversation is not about what we feel is right or wrong. It's just the fact that this is even happening.
Yeah, I just was trying to illustrate the. I don't understand the attitude of those things have been left behind because they are obsolete now, where they don't work anymore because they do work. They work really well.
Yeah. So I'm gonna read off a couple of these. I don't know. I'll try to read off the ones I can read without getting clipped. But this first guy says, and this is the one that's on the screen. I was getting shit on too at the previous shop I worked at because of buzzing like a MFer all day. The other guys were even rude to me in front of my customers. Like, are you really going to tattoo him with that buzzing sledgehammer? Or like, you really like to ruin our day here using coils, do you? I read it word for word, so, you know. And then this person chimes in and says, same, I'm glad I'm not the only, I'm not at my last studio anymore because I wasn't allowed to use a coil as it's too noisy. Next one said, yup, my boss complains about my old-fashioned tattoo machines all the time. He literally warns his customers when I'm about to tattoo that I'll be annoying to listen to. So not only are they giving him shit about using them at the shop, but then people are chiming in and making the person feel bad or making their customers uncomfortable, which is wrong on many levels to begin with. Um, Next person said, "No, this is legit. Why I switched over because people I worked with went as far as buying loop earplugs."
I mean, so they in any given, I don't know, are you allowed to bust balls in tattoo shops anymore? I guess in some shops that's a thing of the past, right? Because some of that sounded like teasing, like, "Oh man, what are you going to tattoo him with that sledgehammer?"
Yeah.
But like that doesn't even sound real. They bought earplugs,
Yeah, I mean, look, there's a bunch of them in here.
and I'm not questioning what the dude wrote. Just did they were they was it teasing? Because that doesn't.
Well, I mean, some of these go way further than that. So this
I read
one,
them.
yeah, I had the same struggle like 2 years ago. I was forced to move to another studio. First, it started as a joke, and after a year, it started to be serious with effing ultimatums that I need to purchase some silent machine otherwise, and I was gone. So they got rid of them. Fat Cracker said that yes, some hippie tree hugger shops ban coil machines. I mean, I've never heard of it. It's the first time I'm ever hearing of it. So that's why we kind of brought it up tonight because I was like, wow, this is kind of trippy that you know what I mean? Like, so let me give you a little inside glimpse of. I think it'll be tomorrow. If it's not tomorrow, it's definitely going to be Tuesday. I had a really good interview with Sharky. Sharky is not only a phenomenal tattoo artist, but she knows her shit when it comes to tattoo history. So much so that she's actually working with like archaeologists and anthropologists to go to early man tattooing. Like she's digging deep, dude. And she said that she came across certain indigenous people that would literally put the tail of a rattlesnake on their tool so the sound of it while they were tapping the tattoo in would become like a hypnotic trance, which is essentially what she was saying, like the coil machine, like I need to hear that noise. She's obviously somebody that is all for coil machines. But I just found that interesting that, even as far back as early man, they were doing that, mimicking the sound. And then here we are tonight talking about something that hit Instagram where they're like, dude, we're going to fire you because you're working using a coil machine that's too loud. It just blows my mind.
So I think about it like in terms of music, right? Like guitar. So if you like soft jazz guitar, you go to a soft jazz guitar club.
Right.
If you want like
Metal.
dirty, filthy rock and roll, you go to that club. Like, but I don't. It seems like a real lack of image. It seems like a real lack of maturity in any industry to say, "This is it. That's not it. This is." You know what I mean?
Right.
Regardless of what it is, regardless of whether it's musicians, whether it's authors, whether it's artists, like
I think as far as, being a craft that you've sunk your heart and soul into at the point you're making, you know what I mean? You're working, that's your job, right? Um, to give somebody an ulterior motive like that it just, I don't know, man. It doesn't sit well with me. I don't really care. I don't have any skin in the game. Uh, I've been tattooed by both. It doesn't matter to me. Uh, but to tell somebody that they can't use that or find a new job or like look, so if you were to say close up your shop here, right, and then you started going and hunting around to different shops to get a job, and they go, hey, well, do you use coil or you using a rotary, and you're like, oh, I use coil, and they're like, ah, sorry man, can't hire you. You know what I mean? Like, I almost said it and I can't because it's a keyword for social media and YouTube.
mm-hmm.
The 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 bug that went around a couple years ago that closed down the whole government,
Right.
the
Right.
whole world. You know what I mean? Like I was told, hey man, you need to get your medicine or you can't work, or we're gonna charge you $100 a paycheck. Like that, forcing those demands on you is it's just I don't know, man.
I mean, both of us knew a guy from Jersey who worked as a medical tech, right?
Hmm.
Who actually went into his job in the hospital with like legitimate medical proof, and was still like,
Let them go.
yeah.
Yep. So
So the thing, like, all the buzzwords are cool. Loyal to the coil, bold will hold, all that. I mean, all that stuff's really cool, right? If we want to like be divisive and create trouble. But I have machines, coil machines that I've literally been tattooing with for more than 2 decades.
hmm
Like I know, like I know them. But I think if I were an artist starting today, I might not necessarily use coil machines. I don't know if I would or not, you know?
right, you go whatever the easier route is.
It's not like a it's more of a practical issue to me. These are the machines I learned on. These are the machines I use. Does
Mhm.
anybody who's in the trades, right, whatever trade it is, if you have tools that have been hanging off your belt for decades, what are you going to do? Not use them?
Right. I just thought it was a great topic to bring up for tonight because it is something that, we've kind of kicked it around here and there, but this is the first time that I've ever seen it brought into the picture as almost a demand.
Yeah, an
Or,
ultimatum.
right. And it sucks for the people that are working in shops that are, getting bullied out of the shop or having, fired because of it. It's just it doesn't make any sense to me, man. I think it should come down to is the dude's work pristine? That's all that matters, right? I mean, as far as your shop owner, that should be like what's the main concern coming out of the shop? Is this dude putting out or this chick putting out like top tier work? Okay, cool. That's all I care about
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, that's really what's paying your bills.
Top tier clean work with a decent attitude.
Right.
Why would I care what kind of machine you used?
So I just figured that we could throw that up tonight. Um, I have one more extra surprise for you all before we get into the second topic because unfortunately I can't play the actual clip because I'll get a copyright strike. But that's our boy Fat Cracker there. He's rocking the two fat guys in a tattoo shop shirt on the current red leather reel on Instagram. He was kind enough to wear our shirt, and that's pretty awesome.
That is pretty awesome.
I appreciate that. We both thank you, dude, for wearing that. That's cool as hell, man. I got to tell you, man, I read some of the comments, and there were people on there that obviously did not know that it was a joke or it was a scripted thing. And there were some not nice comments on that, man. I thought it was pretty funny.
I thought it was a good mud check. What do you know about heartache, kid?
Yeah. Well, and then there was other people that were like, "Oh, that's the same guy you used last time." So, there was a guy. Whew. Okay, I had to pull it out. Teddy Swims. Dude's amazing singer. Not really my style of music that I listen to, but
Is it versus Teddy Ran or
he's an amazing
Walked?
singer though. And he had this shtick, I guess we'll call it, on TikTok and Instagram for a while where somebody, like, he would be walking through Glasgow or London and there'd be the buskers out there and they'd be singing and they'd be doing one of his songs and he would walk up and surprise them and sing with them and they would be all like, "Ah," and it got to the point where people were like, "All right, dude, you did this like 20 times and this is obviously fake as hell.
right?
Stop doing it." And I think he pretty much did. But I just, I remember seeing that. I guess it was like a year ago. That was like the big thing. But yeah, like I said, I don't listen to the dude at all. But
I'm trying to think of who the guy from the Clash was. Not Strummer, the other guy. That guy, Mick Jones.
yeah,
I think it was Mick Jones. There's a reel going around where he surprised this like little punk rock band
yeah.
that was playing on the street.
But that might be real,
Yeah, and they're playing like a Clash song, and he's like, "I like that song."
right? That's awesome. But yeah, man, I figured we would throw that up there and let everybody see it, man. I thought it was awesome. You know, it's always nice to be represented outside of our little world here. But so the next one is a subject that kind of blew my mind. I didn't see the. I'm going to be honest. I didn't see the initial news report. I saw Body Graphics' version of it. It was overdubbed with Jesse's voice, and I thought it was fake. And then I started digging into it, and this actually is true.
It's real.
Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and share our screen. Let me make sure we're good. We're good.
Are we going to play Jesse's version?
We are not. I did not want to get popped for
We neither endorse nor deny
right.
Jesse's version.
But here you go. So
I did almost piss myself though.
we'll
listening.
play it. We'll probably pause and stop and discuss. But this was a local news station in Rhode Island.
Yes, say RISD students racing to sign up for the school's first ever tattoo class.
At least they're
the
not
tattoo
practicing on
class.
each other. It's being taught by a former RISD student. He tells NBC 10's Temi Topadalea that he wants to share his knowledge about this ancient form of art. It's new at 6.
RISD students majoring in illustrations are putting ink to paper and skin. Well, sort of.
Practicing on silicone skin is difficult. It's different than actual human skin, which of course we do not touch during this course.
This semester, RISD alum and art critic Adam Kruger is teaching the Introduction to Tattooing course.
This is the first of its kind ever.
So here's what I don't understand. They're saying that he's an alum. I get it. They're saying he's an art critic. But they don't say that he's a tattoo artist. So I mean, he's tattooed.
I mean, looking at that clip, that actually looks more like introduction to marking silicone.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
not tattooing.
right.
Well,
Remember, kids, it's not tattooing until there's like another person in blood and movement and
yeah.
stress. That's when it becomes tattooing.
At a college, university level, there's long been a gap between the fine art world
pictures,
and
too.
the tattoo industry, and I felt like that gap needed to be bridged.
He's excited, so much so he got a RISD tattoo.
It's been my goal since I graduated 21 years ago to come back and teach, and now it's become full circle.
In the course,
I'm
Kruger
really
drills the
glad this
fundamental.
guy bridged the gap between fine art and the tattoo world, because obviously Don Hardy didn't do that well enough 30 years ago,
Interesting.
right?
Like there was no need for the bridge.
Yeah, yeah.
Gotcha.
History and respect of tattooing into students.
And there's a broad global history that spans back 5,000 years to the first tattoo that we know of.
With the
5,000?
time to flesh out their creativity.
It's a medium that
Well, he's not teaching tattoo history. He's just teaching the fine art.
blends painting, sculpture, fashion, graphic design all into one.
From hands to other silicone materials, students have the tools needed to express themselves.
We practice line work, shading, tattooing different melanated skin tones, cover-ups.
There are 15 students in the class, and those interested are trying to claw their way in.
It was filled within an hour or two with a wait list of over 70 students. They're excited to do something new.
Just as excited as he is to teach this strong contemporary art form. And who knows, maybe some might make a career out of it.
It excites me that it's going to open more doors, and hopefully other institutions will follow the lead in the
Hopefully, more institutions will. So, how do you all feel about that out there in internet world? How do you feel about the colleges now getting involved with
I mean, I
offering
think it's
tattooing courses?
I think it's great. I think it's great that they're teaching people to tattoo silicone material.
Mm.
I mean, that's wonderful.
Now,
I mean, as soon as they're robot bodies, we'll be in good shape.
Didn't tell me if I'm wrong, but you said Ed Hardy earlier, and it just actually hit a light bulb in my head.
Mm-hmm.
I could have swore at one point I saw a interview with him. It might have been one of the Tattoo Ages, where he talked about going back to UC Berkeley and talking about tattooing at the college or the university.
So, I've attended. The first one I attended was at the Modern Art Museum in New York, and it was, I think it was Tuttle, Eldridge, a couple local tattooers, and it was a day symposium about tattooing history, tattoos' effects on culture, but not about how to tattoo.
Right. So that's the key, right?
Yeah.
So people have taught classes or you did symposiums or whatever at colleges, but it was more around the art and the history of it, not the actual.
And the anthropological societal aspect of it.
Right. Not the, hey, this is how we're going to put together a rotary machine and we're going to apply it to some fake skin.
Right.
Now, I did not look it up, but I am curious if that guy actually is a tattoo artist or not.
If
So-
only someone
Adam Kruger,
had access to a phone.
I think his name is Adam Kruger. But I did not look it up. I forgot to do that because,
I mean, why would he have to be a tattoo artist?
right, he's getting paid big time bucks.
I mean, don't you? This is 2025. You don't know how. You don't have to know how to tattoo to teach people tattoo. That's so 1990s.
So I just looked it up, and it does look like there's a couple Adam Krugers that are listed as tattoo artists. Yeah, with over 10 years of tattooing experience.
Over 10 years.
His practice spans a wide range of styles, from American traditional to black and gray. Over 10 years.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So-
So Chris Hawkins said I'm going to go out on a limb and say no. I just I don't understand why there is a need for it. And it's funny because when I brought it up the other day, Mike was here and he was like, "Oh, what does it have something to do with a corporate, money? Somebody putting money behind it?" I didn't see anything that made it look like that was the case, but it wouldn't surprise me. Some big, corporation getting behind it, offering money to the university to push the agenda. Who knows, man? I mean, there's lobbyists for everything now.
So, somebody approached me with this idea, and it sounds conspiratorial until you think about modern business ethics, right? And the idea was, is it possible that there are corporate interests that are going out of their way on social media and other platforms to turn public opinion against old-timey tattooing, coil machines, independent tattooers? I mean, it sounds conspiratorial, I understand. But if you look at like the really recent business, the complete lack of ethics in business, I mean, would a company be above hiring 100 social media people to just have a smear campaign?
Not at all.
Not at all, right?
Not at all. I'm fairly certain it's done on a regular basis. It's known that there's Google review farms, right? Where they hire people to do, they pay, like a business could go and say, well, I just opened up a new restaurant in town. We've been open for a month. I'm going to hire this whatever. And they're going to go and blast Google reviews, paid reviews.
Right.
So no, I mean, if they can do that, then they would not. I wouldn't even bat an eyelash at somebody if somebody said that.
So years ago, a friend of mine started. He was started doing consulting work as a computer tech or whatever, computer engineer, and the job that kind of launched his career was he was paid by a firm, I think out of Chicago, to sort of bury their bad news on the internet. So over the course of like 2.5 months, he consistently posted enough material with enough metaphrasing and keywords to where, I mean, you could find this material that that company didn't want you to find about them,
But you'd have to dig.
but it was buried under pages and pages and pages of fluff.
Yeah,
And he, that particular job, questionably ethical, but that was the seed money that started his business.
yeah, man. It's a big money. You know.
So is it possible that all this shit that's on social media and all this like infighting and all these, like, we all know that there's just trolls that want to like,
Yep.
but is there corporate interest as well?
Yeah, for sure. I think that you know, let's go back to the whole Ganga thing with the Nike thing.
Right.
Now, I think at some point, I think that might have gotten blown out of proportion because after we looked into it, it didn't look like it was
It looked like Nike was just gonna what do you
seed
call it?
money. Like it wasn't.
They were going to be in charge of distribution of some of his designs.
Right. It wasn't like, hey, we're going to give you $100 million to open up a school. It was, we're going to be working together. You're going to tattoo sneaks and we're going to sell them. So, I don't think that's right either, but whatever. So for you to say, is it possible that they could do that? Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. I think that there is, and this isn't just tattooing, man. I think this is a multifaceted approach because I think that it's being done on social media for all types of subjects.
Right.
We don't have to go any further just on the fact that we don't talk about politics on here, but I think it's happening. Even I think it happens on different businesses too. I think that there's businesses that go after smaller businesses to make themselves look better, to push out the little guy.
I mean, if you think about it, in our own area, right? There's the Ace Hard. There's 3 I can think of off the top of my head. 4 small independent hardware stores that are being held together by just absolute people that will not. That's what they do.
Right.
It's a ethical imperative to them. But
Yeah.
really, how could you beat Home Depot?
Right. And that's basically, I think, is what happened to malls, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we used to have 2 of the largest malls in the United States right here. Now they're
Empty.
away of the dodo bird. I mean, majority of malls nowadays are getting torn down to put like high-end apartments and shit in them. Because Amazon basically squashed all the little guys.
So I'm a huge. I relate everything to TV and movies because I'm not
Hey,
that bright,
Train Who takes care of you?
right? Yeah.
Jesus.
So did you see Fall of the House of Usher
Negative.
on Netflix? It's about a family, an industrialist family, and the one guy says, "What happens when you're given lemons?" And the other dude says, "You make lemonade." He goes, "No, you don't. First, you roll out a multi-front social media campaign about how great lemons are. Then you create the hashtag lemon. Everything's lemon. If it's good, it's lemon. And then you build up the value of lemons. And then you undercut it completely with another campaign and then buy all the lemons. That's what you do. And then you make your lemonade." And it was way more even involved than that, but just there are people that think in terms of that, right? Their business acumen.
Yep.
Their business acumen is so much further along than just your average.
Right.
I just want to draw pictures on people.
Right. Yeah, and look, social media. We're getting off topic, but social media has become the new business card. You know what I mean? Like, there's people really don't have business cards anymore. Matter of fact, I don't remember the name of the company, but they basically sell like a wristband that somebody asks for your Instagram or whatever. You just go like that. The people can scan it or hit that, and it takes you right to your Instagram
Wow,
page.
tech.
You know what I mean? Like, I think that, look, in the long run, dude, the people that adapt to the changes are the ones that are going to succeed, and the ones that don't adapt are the ones that are going to, they're going to struggle. They're going to lag behind. But this is a whole different territory of, colleges getting involved, universities getting involved, trying to teach a subject that 30 years ago, any of those professors in that college would have been like, ew, that's lowbrow. That is white trash.
Yep.
That's scummy. And now
It's spiky.
it's okay to teach at a college. Which, look, hey, man, that's good and bad. It's good in the fact that now there's more people out there in the world that want to get tattooed. Awesome. That means everybody's going to be happy. What I feel like there was an anticipation was all these people that were like want to be tattoo artists.
I think the absolute, like, not to jump on a bandwagon or anything, but springs, coils, armature bars, gap, throw. I mean, spring weight, spring length. I mean, so many things with a coil machine that you had to learn.
Mm-hmm.
You had to learn how to make that thing run and how to make it hum.
Yeah, well, all those kids in that class, I mean, if you look at the video, they're all
you-
using pens.
And if you use a pen, it's a much simpler.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody from my generation of tattooing ever foresaw that there would be an instrument that absolutely was that simple. That was just that easy to use.
Right. Man, I'm all for
I'm jumping on the frame.
tattooing, evolving and getting better and better and better as long as it's legit.
Right.
As long as the artwork is legit, the artwork holds, everything looks good 10 years down the road.
Wouldn't it be funny if it didn't?
Well, there's going to be a lot of people walking around with some shitty-ass tattoos.
Wouldn't it be funny if, like, 5 years from now, all that stuff fell out?
Well, and here's the thing, man, is we talked about this with Sharky, and we were talking about that. And I said, there was some influencers that were going around, and I use the term loosely, that were going and getting these big money tattoos. And Kirk Fagan, shout out to Kirk Fagan, he did an episode on it where he got these influencers that spent all this big money for the media tattoos. And then there was pictures of these people like out on the beach or whatever, a couple months, a year down the road, and the tattoos look like complete dog shit. So they paid all the big money to get the tattoo, and it held for a couple days, a week, month, whatever, and now it looks like crap. Now, she made a really good point. It's like a kink, right? It's like a, dude, check this tattoo out. I got this done by so and so, and I paid $10,000 for it.
Right.
And she was like, meanwhile, you could take that same exact tattoo to your local legendary dude or whatever, spend not even a third of the money, and go out for barbecue and beers and stuff, and still have a shitload of money left over. And it'll hold, which is the key.
I mean, wouldn't it be funny if it did turn out that you need black outlines?
I mean, I think that there's going to be a lot of people walking around within the next 10 years. They're going to be have some janky tattoos that are going to have to get either covered over or lasered off. And you know what, though? I think that there's going to be a lot of people that got some of those tattoos by people that actually did them properly that are going to hold. And that's maybe where the lesson's going to be learned.
So for all this stuff, I was thinking about a conversation I had with Jerry Reds. I've been tattooing about 15 years. Probably at this point, Jerry Reds has been tattooing about 35. Jerry Reds was a tattooer, worked for Philadelphia Eddie for years.
So this is at least a 10, 15 year ago conversation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Super respected guy, down to earth guy, tough guy. So Jerry was, Jerry was talking to me about the effect that Ink Master was going to have on tattooing. And at this point in my career, I'm a little bit more than a 10-year guy. I thought I knew what he was talking about. But I didn't realize it. It's hard to explain. I didn't realize that the change that I had seen because of the Ink Master and the media blitz about tattooing in my own life was nothing compared to the change that he had seen
Right.
from tattooing 25 years prior to me. Like, I really was like, yeah, Jerry, everything's changed so much. It really has. And he must have been thinking, kids, you don't even know,
Right.
right?
It's like the you hear about like the old stories of the guys that went to prison, and then they did 30 years, 40 years, and they come out and there's like cars.
Yeah.
When they went in, there was horse and buggy. They come out and there's cars flying all around the neighborhood, and you're like, whoa, what the hell?
They went in when there was 8 tracks, and they came out to digital music.
Right.
Right.
Stuff like that, where
Yeah.
it's just like time passes you by, and then all of a sudden you kind of come out of we're gonna call it coma. It's not the case, but
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden you're like, holy shit! It's like the Jetsons out here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I would assume that if we could use the magic Ouija board and pull up some of these old heads like Sailor Jerry, Cap Coleman, Gus Wagner.
Yeah.
And showed them what's going on right now, they would be like, what? No way. They would be like, you're lying. That's some made up shit. But yeah, man, I mean, if you look at the time frame of where we're at now, to back to hand and poke, man, that's a very short time. Very short time. Bill O'Connell with the $5 super chat.
Thank you, Bill.
Thanks for that. Much appreciated. Big time change, man. And like I said, I think everyone in here will agree that change is good.
Do you think them kids are being taken advantage of?
No, well, yeah, because they're already going to college.
What do you mean?
Not to get on my horse, but thank you for the folks out there in Kick watching us, by the way. Much appreciated.
Of the two of us, one of us quit high school and one of us went to college.
No, so hear me out. Right around the same time you and I, you're a little bit older than me, but around the same time we graduated high school. Was there, when we were supposed to graduate high school, wasn't there like it was like this huge push to like, you got to go to college, got to go to college, got to go to college. And we got to a point in the United States anyway, I'm not going to talk about anywhere else, but in the United States where it was so frowned upon to go to a trade school, it was actually looked down on.
Right, they were dumb.
Right, like you were the dumb Votech kid, which is complete bullshit.
Right.
Well, and they forced this thing where you had to go to college, and now we got a whole slew of people that are in debt because of college. When if they would have just went to a trade school, did a 2-year apprenticeship or whatever as a plumber or an electrician, they'd be making $100,000+ a year right now.
Yep.
With no debt. I saw a thing on the news where this was a couple years ago. It was actually Mike Rowe from Dirty Jobs. And he was meeting with the people from John Deere Tractor. Right? And he was the guy that was the head of John Deere said, we can't get small engine mechanics, diesel mechanics. We're willing to pay them $150,000 a year right now out of trade school because we can't get mechanics. I mean, that right there should be a huge eye-opener.
I mean, have you seen the projections by the federal government that by 2030, they're going to need something like 150,000
Oh, dude, Nathan, thank you, brother.
like electricians, and then another 150,000 welder. Like that's I'm saying an arbitrary number, but there's projections by the federal government about the complete deficit of tradespeople that
Yeah.
we're not going to have enough.
Dude, Nathan just became a channel member, and he gifted a channel membership.
Hey, thanks, Nathan.
So now I know it works. Thank you, dude. You're the first one to do it. And
For
thank
me?
thank you for becoming a member.
Me?
No, you got some change. Got the gift, which is cool. Well, you don't know who that is, but welcome to the channel. And now you're a member. But anyway, yeah. So it's one of those things where, like, you know, I think that those kids are already, well, not really. Like, let's be honest, man. Rhode Island School of Design is a pretty prestigious school.
Yeah.
So those kids are going to go somewhere. It's but it's just, man, I don't know, dude. For me, I don't feel like this is something that needs to be in a university. This needs to still be in a shop, oversaw by a guy that's been tattooing for 15 plus years. That's not a scumbag, not taking advantage of people, and is showing them the right way to do stuff, not at a school learning on fake skin. Because here's the thing, man, and this is actually a great example. I went to the Art Institute of Philadelphia, okay, because in my mind, I was still in my head that I needed a college degree. Now, granted, I'm grateful I have it now, but at the time, that's, I was still beat into my head. You need to have a college degree. I went to Penn State first, pretty much flunked out. Went to the Art Institute, got my degree.
Did you specialize in drinking at Penn State? Was that your major?
Yes. So I remember I got my degree, and I went from working for one sound company to another. And I said, "Oh yeah, and I have a degree from the Art Institute of Philadelphia in music business."
Right.
And the guy basically told me, "Well, you might as well take that and wipe your ass with it, because it's useless. Because it's not the type of trade where that piece of paper is going to mean anything." So where I'm going with this is, okay, you could have those classes at RISD. You could succeed. You could get straight A's, do whatever you got to do. But if you walked into a shop with that, the shop owner is going to be like, "Well, we're not going to hire you." Because there's shops right now that won't hire you if you go to a tattoo school.
So the thing, the practical thing that people don't realize is that the reason it's so hard to teach yourself to tattoo or to learn out of a kitchen or whatever, aside from the whole that's right or wrong or whatever you want to say about that, until you're doing 5 or to 10 tattoos a day on a regular basis, you can't know how to use the machine.
Right.
Like, you have to, you know what I mean?
It's a repetitive thing.
Yeah, like, you can't work out of your house twice a week and expect to get any better because you're not clocking the time with the machine in skin.
I think that that pretty much goes with anything that you do, whether you're a mechanic, an electrician,
Anything.
a plumber, a cook, right? You could be the guy that works at Denny's and you're the cook. Unless you're doing it on a daily basis and you're getting your chops up, you're never going to handle the lunch crowd rush that's going to come in 50 tickets deep.
You can know every recipe ever made, right?
Right.
You can know how to make any meal ever made.
But when you get under the fire and
Right.
it's, that's when shit starts going south quick. So
And the other thing is about the schools too is not to get corny, but there is a sacred element to tattooing. I mean, it involves blood. I mean, there's a sacred element to it. It's not, and I mean, there's a sacred element to painting. There's a sacred element to any art form, right? Whether it's music, whether it's any human endeavor has a element like that. But there's something, to me, there's something more special about working on skin with another person than working on paper.
Yeah.
And certainly more special than working on a computer.
Well, you're basically putting your trust in someone to carry their artwork around for the rest of your life,
Like not to
unless you can afford lasers.
not to demean those pursuits, right? Not to demean people that paint, people that sculpt, or even people that do computer graphics.
Amazing talent.
Right. Like I couldn't, I couldn't design the effects for a movie like Jurassic World or even like the new Predator movie. Wouldn't know what to do. But there's a different kind of element with what tattooing is. There's a human energetic element that I don't feel is present because it's between two people.
Yeah.
Is that corny? That's corny, right? That's some corny shit.
It's not, because you're not the first person I've heard say that. You know, you get you want to hear somebody really talk about that, like in depth. The Chiefsman,
Right.
he is like adamant about that. You know what I mean? Where he's like, modern day shaman,
Yeah.
and that's But I don't know, man. I just thought it was an interesting topic for tonight because to see a university diving into it, man. I mean, it's bad enough you got people out there that are influencers that are opening up their own online schools, talking shit about apprenticeships, and then you're like, yeah, but you can join my online tattoo school. Yeah, there you go. That's a perfect example of
Nanyo?
how you're doing your you're promoting one thing and then undercutting the other guy
Right.
and coming along. Oh, apprenticeships are bullshit. You shouldn't do apprenticeships. But if you join my online school for $29.99,
I would teach you how to make $10,000 a month.
yeah. So there you go.
So a guy that is hilarious when it comes to that is it just another tattooer? I'm just another tattooer. There's a guy on Instagram, if you want to take the time to look for him, that basically talks about everything that they teach you in these like pyramid marketing schemes.
Yeah.
And then he always ends his videos but what do I know? I'm just another tattooer. But it's pretty informative.
Well, I hopefully everybody enjoyed the show tonight.
Did we get any good comments?
There was a lot of people that agreed. Bill O'Connell just said, I agree with you 100%, Justin, talking about the spiritual.
Sacredness.
Yeah. Moderator Nikki said those that can't do teach, which is accurate. Fat Cracker's talking about his new Instagram, Shake City Blasted, where he's doing the on-the-spot interviews of people with tattoos. He said he's going to have Teddy Swims on there. He had Ed Hardy's son, Doug, on there today. If you haven't checked it out, Shake City Blasted. We got, what's up, Brad? How's it going, man? So, yeah, man. Fat Cracker said that Red Leather's other video that he was in did over 11 million views. Well, I hope he gets 11 million on this new one while you're wearing our Two Fat Guys in a Tattoo Shop t-shirt, dude. We could use the love. That would be amazing. Bill O'Connell said, I love the sound of coil machines too, Nikki, especially with music playing in the background. Drag hanging out with us tonight. We got Fat Cracker, Chris Hawkins, got moderator Nikki. We got Sarah, OG Sarah, hanging. I know Justin Smet in here. I think he's in here still. He was in here earlier.
Dude, like in a sense, it really is like with motorcycles, right? Like, like a guy that's riding like an old-fashioned bike with a Kickstarter.
Uh-huh.
It's one thing if he says, I just love old-fashioned bikes with Kickstarters.
Right.
And it's another thing if he talks shit about electric starters. You know what I mean? Those are two different ways of going about things.
Well, we see that all the time, though.
Yeah.
We see the purists that are like, oh, man, you guys with your new fandangled, or, you guys with your lazy boy recliners and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, bro, when you start running, 1,000-mile days on your kickstart
Hardtail.
hardtail, then come talk to me.
So even me, I'm
Because-
like, I'm not a fan of the big dressers, right? I'm not a fan of electric glides and street glides. But I have ridden them, and there's no arguing with the fact that that is a comfortable, nice ride.
Yeah, man, and that's why I started buying the road glides because, man, I was putting a lot of miles on a year on my bike, and that was it. It needed to come down to a comfort thing because we were doing anywhere from 750 to 1,000 miles. Well, I only did that once, and I was like 20 miles short of doing it. But everything else was, we were doing crazy miles, man, and you start riding on a bike that's not built for that, you're gonna definitely feel it.
Yeah.
So
It's like the windshield. You know what I mean? The windshield on a bike, like highway riding, the windshield is the best thing ever
yeah,
made.
but I don't have a windshield.
I
I wouldn't call it a windshield. That thing's only the freaking
right. I wouldn't use my windshield. I couldn't just because I'm dumb. I mean, it's a better ride. It's more enjoyable. It's warmer, but it's just a windshield.
Have you ever
man.
ridden in the snow?
What?
Have you ever ridden in the snow on your bike?
In the snow?
Yeah.
Like snow on the ground or flurries?
Like snow on the ground?
No.
You'll appreciate that windshield.
No, I see. That's the thing is, I do appreciate the windshield.
Yeah.
I absolutely do. I just can't
So Brad said, I break out my coils every time I want to feel like a real tattooer again. There you go. So yeah, this conversation tonight was not about the controversy of coils versus pens. This was, hey man, if you want to use pens, that's cool, do your thing. If you want to use coils, that's cool, do your thing. But to bully somebody and tell people they can't work in a shop because they use coil machines is kind of
either way,
or the other way around.
A coil machine shop giving some a little good-natured ribbing
is
between
okay.
friends.
A little mud checking every once in a while won't hurt anybody.
So when I got my throat tattooed, I got tattooed by Topper from Philadelphia. Did a huge rose cover up all across my throat because it's not funny when you tattoo a girl's name almost from ear to ear.
Dumbass.
But I was in love. So halfway through the tattoo, after he did the outline, he pulls out not a bishop pen, but like a rotary machine, right? An English style rotary machine. And we're talking about it, and he's like, there's less bounce on this particular part of the body. And he's like a coil guy. I mean, he's machine builder, coil guy. And that's respectable. Like for his hand, right? Because it is the artist's hand.
Right.
Right? He does better work on this particular part of the body with this machine. And who wouldn't, why die on a hill for something? When you
I
don't
gotta be
have
honest
to?
with you, dude. The couple times that I've been tattooed with a pen, mentally I went, this doesn't hurt as much, which is not true. It's just the lack of the chatter.
Mm-hmm.
The stall out. When that's not happening, you're like, oh, this is so much easier, which is bullshit. But in your mind, you're like, oh, it's not as loud. It doesn't hurt as much.
Do you know about bands that play really abrasive jazz? Like when Miles Davis would flip out and it'd be like,
Right.
So I'm getting tattooed at Electric Tattoo one time, and they're listening to like some Miles Davis out there experimental jazz, and I was like, dude, you gotta
Change the music.
You gotta change the music, dude. Like the tattoo isn't. I just couldn't get my what do you
Feng
call
shui.
it right? Yeah, I couldn't get it right because it was just so disruptive.
Yeah, well, I've also been tattooed in places where they were listening to death metal.
Nice.
And I'm like, yeah, dude, that I can't do that. That does not compute for my brain.
Yeah.
Just not into it. But you know what, man? That's why there's peanut butter and there's jelly. Yeah, there's a little something for everybody out there.
That's why there's Fluffernutter.
Yeah.
Dude,
Anyway.
what do you mean,
This shit's nasty, dude.
Dude's-
That is so not good for you, man. Here, let me whip up some chemicals to put on your peanut butter.
So good, dude. I actually like just to drink it from the
Yeah.
jar
Dude, I'll eat a marshmallow all day long, but, you know.
on sweet potatoes.
Justin said, I've come to love my pens, but I also love my Inkclaw Tortoise, which is a hybrid coil rotary machine. There you go.
There you go.
There's something for everybody, man.
Each person to their hand.
I don't give a shit, dude, as long as it looks good when I'm done. That's absolutely insane to think about. Both machines have their place in tattooing. When the cordless drill came out, do you think the carpenter was like, nah, no thanks, I like my cord?
Right.
Right. So, you know, it's...
I mean-
I don't understand why a shop would be like, nah, dude, you can't work here.
I mean,
Use a cord machine.
I'm sure that when you're doing framing, you're probably using a pneumatic nail gun. But when you're doing finished carpentry on like a cabinet, it's probably a small hammer with handheld nails, right? The tool for the job.
There you go. So, I hope you all had a good show or enjoyed the show. That was like a flub. Bloop.
Hope you had a good show.
Hope you all had a good night. Keep an eye out for the Sharky video. I'm going to try my best to get it out tomorrow. If not, it'll be out Tuesday. When I left the house, it was rendering, and it said it had 8 hours to go, which is not normal. So I'm not sure if it's going to render tonight. But if I do, it'll be up tomorrow. And if not, it'll be Tuesday. And for the rest of you that hang out on Wednesday night, I'll see you Wednesday. Oh, I won't be here Wednesday night. Thank you for reminding me.
Yes, you will not be here Wednesday
I will
night.
not be here Wednesday night. I have a work engagement that I need to go to. It was mandatory. I'm like, God damn it, dude. You're not paying me. But I still got to go. So there will be no Wednesday night show, but we will be back Sunday.
Sunday.
Peace out, everybody.
Stay safe.